edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And today we have the Barnes and Tony Show. And for the first time, we are joined by Michael.
How's
it going,
right,
man?
baby.
The other Michael.
The other Michael, our new intern here, senior over there at Sacred Heart University, graduating a little early, mid-semester. What?
Junior.
Are you actually?
Yeah. Spring semester junior.
Oh, then what the hell, dude?
Dude, you said it, not me.
Damn. All right, that's totally fine. Junior, dude. Wow. So this is a young buck here. Chat's gonna love Mike. Mike, tell the people at home you're a fan of your teams, dude.
All right. Y'all ready? I am a Yankees fan for baseball, a Celtics fan for basketball, and a Eagles fan for football.
Definitely haven't heard that mix before, but
never.
The important part is Yankee baseball.
Oh, dude,
that's gonna work out well. Have to ask, what are your thoughts so far this offseason with everything with Soto and Stroman?
I like the Soto trade. And once I noticed after we signed Stroman that we haven't done anything since, I'm a little upset that I think we're going to settle on Stroman.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, I don't know if I'm a fan.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wasn't looking for Stroman, but I think the contract wasn't bad. And I think they're going to do something, whether, it's a reliever or another starter. Personally, I would like to just see another starter. I think we always figure out the bullpen. We're really good at that, but you can't have too many starters. Like, it's never a thing like, oh, we have 6 starters. Come on. 3 guys get injured every year in the rotation.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know who else is out there to sign after signing Hader. And I don't think they want Snell.
Yeah, I mean,
supposedly,
but they made the offer, and I don't know, maybe like he ends up getting desperate enough because I think he's just shooting for the moon and no one's reciprocating. So it's going to be interesting, but I do think too, the whole point of the offseason, obviously like Verdugo as well, and Grisham is depth, but I think the offense is going to be a lot better this year, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, definitely.
It was so. I think it was probably the most embarrassing offensive season I've ever seen. Last year, you think about some of the guys they had to try out there. So just having Soto and Judge back to back, I think is going to be awesome. So I'm definitely really excited for the season. It'll be spring training before we know it.
Yeah, that's a fact, actually. Pitchers and catchers in like 2 weeks, right?
Something like that.
Maybe second week of February, 3 weeks.
So yeah, right around the corner. So can't wait for that. But what do we got for comments to start here?
Of course, we have Josh B in the house with a big let's go. He says, let's have a day. Hashtag Company and Jace, hashtag the Sports Board, hashtag
Josh
Downtime TV. And then Josh B hyped for another Michael, dude.
Nice. Oh, yeah. I was because Michael bucked as well. So
literally.
Trips with Michael's.
Trips, dude. Nick Main says, boo. He says, go Astros. He says, Astros are the Yankees' daddy, Brian.
You know what the thing is, Tony? And you know this just as well as me. It's not about what happened before. It's about what's happening moving forward. So just remember that.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
When you tell me the last time the Mets won a World Series is 1986. Josh B says, what? Exclamation point, question mark. I believe that is to Domax fandom. And then Kyle says, I love Downtime. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you tuning in today, dude. And that's it.
Yeah, so everybody's jacked up. Good to have everybody with us. Shout out to Instagram Live as well. They're always strong for sure. But we have a lot to talk about today. Busy night in the NHL with our frenzy yesterday, so we'll talk about that for a sec. But we got to start. And I just realized this today. I was thinking that it was actually going to start on Thursday because that's when usually all golf tournaments start. But the Farmers Insurance Open from La Jolla, California, actually beginning tomorrow. And I guess this is the third straight year they've done a Wednesday start as well as a Saturday finish. And
how do you feel about that?
Well, we were just talking about it. I think it does make sense because on Sunday everybody's gonna be watching Championship Sunday,
right?
Those matchups. So this being on the West Coast as well, you got to think time difference wise. It would overlap and no one's going to watch it. But now that it's on Saturday, college basketball obviously isn't as strong as numbers. You're going to have, a decent amount of people, watching this. And this is always one of my favorite tournaments. The courses there at Torrey Pines, you have the South and the North course. The golfers rotate the first 2 days, and then play the final 36 on the South course, which hosts, when they have like the US Open, the PGA, it's hosted on that course. And actually the South course has the highest, meaning it's the hardest scoring average on tour for non-major courses. So typically, the scoring, I feel like every time, we're previewing a tournament, we're saying how, it's 20 under recently anyway, because like the easier courses are at the beginning of the year.
Last week too, it was like 28 under, right?
Oh yeah. No, 17 under. We were talking about Berger was 40th.
Yeah.
I mean, this tournament, 17 under will probably win. And you think about the history of this tournament, going back a ways. Well, first off, last year, Max Homa, as he seldom does in the state of California, the native, won this tournament 13 under par. He was 2 strokes clear of Keegan Bradley. Luke List back in 2022, 15 under. Patrick Reed, 2021, 14 under. Leishman in 2020 at 15 under. Justin Rose at 21 under back in 2019. And then 2018, you had Jason Day win his second Farmers Insurance Open, also won back in 2015. But, looking at those scores, I mean, you only had one into the 20 unders. So we're looking at mid-teens. And obviously, I think the whole thing is the first 2 days of this tournament, the players are going to look to take advantage of the easier North course, just because that's where you can get your scoring up. And then, you do what you can on the South course, but being right by the ocean there, it's just a beautiful, beautiful sight lines. And always definitely, one of my favorite non-major tournaments. And we were just talking about the stretch coming up. It's just a great, great course every week. And this is really the start of it. And, we do have a pretty strong field as well for this. Not an elevated event. I don't think it was last year either. And I think the whole thing is people want to play this course. So it doesn't need to be an elevated event. And you look at who's in the field, obviously Homa defending his title. You got Xander Schauffele. We talked about how Keegan Bradley finished second last year. Sanjay Im, Sahith Theegala, Patrick Cantlay. And this is Cantlay's actually first appearance here in 5 years. So not everybody goes to this tournament, but there's always, at least a handful of big names. Adrian Moronic, and you got Sepp Straka, Jason Day looking to win number 3. And he was, tied 34th last week at the American Express. You got Minwoo Lee, Christian Besenhoff, who finished second last week. Tony Finau. He was tied second back in 2021 in this tournament. Luke List, who won it back in 2022. Eric Cole, who's been really a story on the PGA Tour the last couple of years. You have a strong field here. I'm really looking forward to watching this. And I'll start with you, Tony. Who do you think's winning? Who do you think's a sleeper? What are you looking for here?
All right. So I got Ludwig Adberg as my guy to win, dude. He's my guy to win. I just feel like the 24-year-old Swedish guy was
one of Riley's guys.
Season. Yeah. Riley was hot on this guy. Great for the FedEx Cup too, for the European team. He did a great job there. And I just think that guy's gonna be a huge, huge, like youthful talent in the PGA. He got a bright future for sure. So yeah, I say this is gonna be his kind of breakout tournament, dude. He has a few under his belt now. He's been in Hawaii, played last weekend. I believe he was top 25 last weekend, but in Hawaii, he wasn't really doing so hot. So I'll give him some time to warm up here. I think this is going to be the tournament where he kind of is that has that outbreak, that outlying type of tournament for him. I say he wins this tournament with a score of 18 under, dude.
18 under.
18 under. Yeah. So decisively being like, wow, even the hard course, dude, 18 under. All right. You hear that, Brian?
I hear it.
And then I want my super to be Jimmy Stanger, dude. This guy, 28-year-old from Virginia, righty. I picked him last week for really no reason at all, honestly, because I was just looking for a sleeper, couldn't really decide. I picked him, and he ended up coming in the top 15. So, it seems like last week, and I mean, like he is like an unknown player, dude. So pretty impressed with him. I feel to go back to back with the sleeper with Jimmy, dude. Good old Jimmy.
Let's go. Let's go. Any thoughts here, Mike?
I'm gonna be honest. It might be an obvious take, but like I was saying before, I think Justin Thomas is due after a terrible year last year. We know he's good enough, and his last, I think, 4 appearances, he's been top 5 in all 4. So I think he's pretty due. So
all right. Yeah, for me here, I just think what Max Homa has done, in California the last couple of years, for whatever reason, he just takes his game up to a new level. I'm going to go with him. I did have some thoughts about Jason Day, who he's another guy, that's been, resurgent, the past couple of years after really struggling, had some vertigo issues. So I'm going to say he's going to defend his title, going back to back here. And then as a sleeper, the star of Full Swing way back when. It seems like we haven't had a new season in a while. Joel Damon. Let's see what he can do.
Joel Damon.
You see it from time to time, and obviously we know, his whole attitude. He's not very confident in himself, but he does have ability, and when he does put it together, he can make a run. So let's go with Joel Damon, Tony. Did you also see our winner last week was in the field and dropped out? So I think, the thing there was, all the emotion of winning last week and not anticipating to win. But I don't know. If I'm a young golfer and I have an opportunity to play these courses, I mean, I'm not backing out. I don't know. What did you think about that?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I think that's kind of tough. I would at this point side with you. I would be like, yo, I want to keep this going. Like, why wouldn't you want to start? Like, does he want? I'm assuming he wants to be a professional golfer. Like,
oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you be like, yeah, let's get my name out there, like get some sponsorships, get my name known, like let's go.
Yeah.
Instead, he goes back to Bama.
Yeah, I don't get it.
What do you think it is? Do you think he's just homesick? Scared? Do you think he's scared?
No, I think, he probably feels worn out from winning, and he doesn't want to come here and then feel like
and blow it.
Yeah, if he misses the cut, it'll take away from, the high that he's on now for winning the tournament,
Yeah, I guess, dude. I think it's kind of beat.
It is.
Who's his manager? Where's his manager, dude?
The manager.
The manager, dude.
But yeah, I like I always say, I love these West Coast tournaments because of the viewing hours. And I was just going to take a look. I know typically this is going to be on CBS. So, okay. So we're 3 to 7 on Golf Channel, tomorrow and Thursday, 3 to 5 on Golf Channel Friday, 5 to 8 on CBS. And then, Saturday, 2 to 4 Golf Channel, 4 to 8 CBS. And then of course, PGA Tour Live. So you get that primetime viewing window. So I think this is going to be, a lot of fun. And I can't wait to, check it out tomorrow. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped, dude.
I just feel like ocean courses, like you can't beat those. I feel like those are always my favorite. Just seeing the ocean in the background is pretty cool. And I think we actually played this on PGA Tour 2K.
A fact, dude.
Yeah, but let's go fly over.
You want to go fly over?
Yeah,
I know
this
love
is
to fly over.
It's just crazy to down those cliffs that you just have the beach right there. I always think that's really cool.
No, that is awesome, dude. I mean, talk about losing your ball, huh?
Yeah. You might lose a couple.
Yeah, dude, just a few. Wow, that is beautiful.
And you could see too the wide open
452.
So I think what it is it's distance, the greens, a lot of sand traps. So you get the open course, but then it's given back with those kind of hazards that you have to deal with.
I mean, that the first hole was pretty straightforward.
A lot of traps though.
Yeah.
So obviously accuracy is key.
Wow, dude. Look at that green looks like it's on a crazy slope.
And the crazy part is that it's a public course.
No
Pooch
kidding.
Played it.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd he do?
I think he did pretty well.
Stop it.
I want to say he shot in the 80s.
That's
honestly.
ridiculous.
But I mean, you could, but then you got to think about it too. One thing that's tough on this is the distance, but then for obviously the public golf, the tees are way up. So really, you're just as long as you can avoid the traps.
That's true.
Not too bad.
It's not bad. Pretty solid drone work here. 5th hole, dude. Crazy. Another par 4. It's
and I love the the courses that have 2 courses. Like I think that's really cool how you could split it up.
Yeah.
So this way too, it's not too congested for the first couple of days of the tournament, and then by the time you make the cut and eliminate a lot of the field, then you're on even playing field in terms of time and separation with the tee times.
What a beautiful flyover.
You think you could break 100?
No. I don't know. It seems like most of these, if you miss left, you're kind of screwed because of all the sand traps.
Yeah, but you're not good out of the sand?
Sand trap in front and behind the green. Like come on. I think I'm pretty solid. I have impressed myself.
You've impressed
yourself. This seems pretty solid. This is pretty straight, and I feel like I would hit it far enough where I could maybe avoid some of these. That was nuts, dude. The 2 sand traps right in front of each other.
Yeah. Kind of crazy. I feel like this is a really good flyover because it's quick. You know? Like sometimes we go through these flyovers and it would take like a half hour to go through the whole thing.
Obviously, this one too being a public course too, I'm sure they want this out there. I come play here.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe I can break 100. I'd have to be on my game.
Yeah. Couple of range sessions with Michael, right?
Definitely, dude.
Which Michael though, right? We don't know.
Yeah, maybe this Michael, dude. I don't know.
You golf?
Yeah, I actually do. I love golfing.
It's the best. Where do you play around here?
So normally I play up in Southbury at Silo Point Country Club.
Oh, wow,
nice. I just moved with my father to the Country Club of Waterbury.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that as well.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to go play over there. But there's no, I think I'm almost pretty sure. I don't think there's a par 5 on the course.
No par 5, really?
There's really long par 4s, but there's no par 5s to my knowledge.
That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't see any par 5s here at Torrey Pines.
I mean, come on.
I know, dude. Stop it.
Yeah. So next few days, I'm sure we'll be talking about this tournament, giving you the updates.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped,
they come, for sure. But a couple comments before we move on here. Rozier to the Heat, I guess. Terry Rozier to the Heat.
I guess so. That's what Kev Dew says. Do you trust Kev Dew's?
No, I do, but
you don't sound like you do.
What do you think, Mike? Though, like I just listen. I was always huge on basketball. I love watching like the playoffs and stuff. I feel like I've really last couple of years just been turned off how it's just like so lackadaisical with the sitting out and how like totals are now 250. I mean, what do you think about the way it's been going the last couple of years in the NBA?
I mean, when it comes to regular season, yeah, definitely the resting's been an issue. But I think when they changed the rulings, especially with the awards, I think it's helped. Like, for instance, Kawhi Leonard, I think, has only missed a handful of games.
Right, because you can only – I got you,
Because now with these regular season awards, you can only miss so many games. Like Embiid, who, even though he's scoring 70, if he misses like 7 more games, he
can't win the MVP.
He won't be able to win the MVP award.
That's interesting.
So it's really making them play.
But yeah, and speaking of that, Embiid 70 last night against the Spurs, and Towns 62 in a loss where they were up 18 points. But stuff like that, I just feel like it's like to me, it doesn't seem as impressive just because of the way the defense is. Like, I feel like 10 years ago, scoring 70, that's insane.
Yeah.
But now it's like, anybody could score 50 points.
The defense is nowhere near what it used to be, especially because yesterday was the anniversary of the 81 for Kobe.
Oh, yes.
So
yeah.
Back then compared to now, the defense was definitely a lot harder. I mean, I put a little bit of the blame on the referees. I feel like a lot of the time now when I watch a game, there's a lot of calls that are just like we're just not even letting them play sometimes. It's getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. And it's a shame for me because I've always loved basketball, and I still, the playoffs are pretty good, but I have to say I do like the NCAA tournament better than the NBA playoffs. I love the upsets and the storylines and stuff, and I just like the effort, the constant effort. I just feel like it's different, but obviously we do know they take it to a new level. Once it's playoff time. So,
and from what I'm seeing, by the way, doing some of my research here, it seems that the trade has not gone through yet, but it is gonna go through with the Hornets are gonna be trading Rozier to Miami Heat for a first-round pick of 2027 and Kyle Lowry.
Kind of crazy. Lowry's still kicking. Seems like he'd be like 50 years old by now.
Right? Yeah. Honestly, dude.
He's been around a long time. Went to Villanova.
He's a big boy.
But yeah, Rozier, I mean, I've always thought he could score. So he's like a good 6-man type of player.
He's putting up I saw a stat the other day. He's putting up almost identical numbers to Damian Lillard. Yeah.
Lillard, that hasn't the Bucks are doing well, but he hasn't looked good. And every time I watch the game, he's sitting in the corner, like just not moving. Like I feel like he's not used to having somebody like Giannis on his team and it's messing him up.
I think I need a year, maybe even like halfway into next year until they really mesh. Like I think this year they've been trying to figure it out and it just really isn't working yet.
Yeah, exactly. So be interesting to see how that works out and what happens. But Tony, if we could go to the world of Major League Baseball.
Stop it, dude.
What a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Throw deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right.
So the big overnight news that Tony's so excited about. He's excited that Aroldis Chapman's not going to be on his team, but the Pittsburgh Pirates.
God, dude. Oh my God.
1 year, $10 million. So Chapman obviously coming off the World Series
I'll
title.
see you at the stadium today, brother.
The trade during the season from the Royals to Texas, and I think it's just been the same thing.
The consistent
really the last few years that we've seen from Chapman. The great stretches, and then can't get anybody out, walks the park. So the up and down.
Blowing.
And I think that's why he's going to Pittsburgh, because you would think
Blowing.
that was not his first choice. And I'm sure probably going into this offseason, he was thinking that there would be more interest than there was. So I was kind of surprised to see that news. And I'm sure for you, Mike, I know for me, I would say probably of the last 10 years, he's probably my least favorite Yankee, or he's right up there with Josh Donaldson, just because of the heartbreak he had to put us through. I mean, it just the anxiety every single time coming to the game, 4-pitch walk to start the inning, it just making stuff more difficult than it needs to be. Scarred by it.
It was very tough to watch. I think Altuve broke him in the playoffs, and after that, I just thought it was just a really bad spiral, and every single time he went on the mound, I was getting goosebumps, and I was just so nervous.
And I think the thing is, it was overlooked from the start.
I think they're going to get pounded.
When we traded him to Chicago, they win the World Series, but he blew the save in the Game 7. Mm-hmm. And then really, I mean, his dominant times were with Cincinnati when they weren't in the playoffs. So I think it's just that's been a constant for him, that he's not a postseason pitcher. And I guess he won't have to worry about the postseason being in Pittsburgh, you would think. But
$10 million. How do you feel about that?
I mean, that's
10.5 actually, I believe.
The Pirates are paying. If he was signing with even re-signing with the Rangers, they probably would have said, listen, we'll give you like $3 million.
Yeah.
It's crazy that he's 35 too. I remember him making his debut. Cincinnati was going to make him a starter because he was a starter minor leagues and then had success in the bullpen, and they didn't want to mess with it. But it's crazy because I always thought the talent was there, but clearly the headspace isn't.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you think after this 1 year, you think he's kind of done? You think teams will still take chances on him?
I could see him getting moved at the deadline if he has like this, first half that he did like with Kansas City last year.
Right.
2.45 ERA, and then he goes over to Texas 3.72. So and you look at it just career wise, Cincinnati, he's there for 6 years, 2.17. Goes to the Yankees 2.94, and really, it felt like his ERA was a lot higher than that. Obviously, he was good initially in 2016, but then when he came back, he had a couple decent years, but the last year, 2022, 4.46, and the walks. I mean, you can't be a closer and you don't have control.
Yeah,
I mean that's just not going to work out. So it'll be interesting to see. How he does, and if he ends up getting moved. It's crazy. Me and Tony talk about it every day, but just how many like big free agents are still on the board. I mean, I know Hader just got signed last week, but Snell and Bellinger, I guess, and they're both Boris clients, so I guess they're just shooting for the moon. But it's crazy just how slow moving, and even the secondary guys, there's a lot of guys that are still available. It's just like it never was like this, but then I feel like last 5 years or so, it's just been very slow free agency wise. Started with like the Machado Harper year.
Yep. As a Yankee fan, I wish before the Soto trade we were able to get Bellinger, but now we have too many outfielders. We can't be doing that. But I
Yeah.
really wish we got him beforehand. But
I did want him initially, but the thing is, for what he wants, especially, it's a deal I could see going bad. So I think we're probably better off. I like the idea of Verdugo contact defense, left-handed. I think that's kind of an underrated move. No one's really talking about, but I think he's going to help them a lot. I mean, you think about Billy McKinney and Willie Calhoun playing last year, Jake Bowers. He's a massive upgrade from them. So I think that was good. And I also did see too, I guess the Dodgers are closing in with Paxton, about $10 million. I don't know why they want him. Started out good with the Red Sox last year, got hurt, and then was terrible down the stretch. And he always just gets injured. So I don't know about that one, right? I mean, you wouldn't want to go anywhere near Paxton. I think in incentives could get it even higher.
Well, I mean, I'm always for incentives, but 10 million still seems kind of high.
But I think the Dodgers have this sense, because you saw them try to do it with Syndergaard, where they just have this thing. Well, for us, the pitcher will pitch better than they did the previous year, which you can't always rely on that.
Yeah, I mean, you saw with Syndergaard, didn't really work out, even though you wanted it to, Brian.
That's honestly, his demise is one of the more surprising things for me. He was unhittable when he came up, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. Neither do I. It was so weird. Chat, what's up, dude?
Shout out chat.
I don't know, dude. It was definitely
you guys are the best.
It was definitely weird for me because as a Met fan, I'm obviously watching this guy kind of crumble. You can talk about the misuse, the injuries from the Mets, but still, I mean, the absolute total his just attitude just seems so beat. I understand if you want to get traded from the Mets, that's fine. But then, when he's in the Phillies, he's ducking his starts against the Mets. It just seemed like he just didn't want to be here at all anymore, dude.
Yeah. I do think it's a poor attitude is at the top of the list, and maybe not the best work ethic either. And I did see this actually happen, I guess, 2 days ago. But Robert Stevenson and the Angels, 3 years, $33 million. That was the guy I was thinking. About for the Yankees, had a really good second half of this season last year. So that could end up being good for them. But obviously, who knows if they're even going to compete this year, because they've been waiting on that for a while. But, it'll be interesting to see if we get any. I'm trying to think, Snell, Bellinger. Is there anybody else that's somewhat big that's available?
Monty?
Oh, Monty. Yeah. He's not Boris, though, right?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
But I can't believe, he hasn't been signed.
I know, pretty crazy. Agent Boris Corporation, dude.
Oh,
there he is, right there. That's crazy, honestly. That fucking Scott Boris.
It's easy to rip on him, but I mean, you think about it, most of the time, he gets the job done. He gets them the money. But I just think there are some situations where he's too aggressive, and then they have to sign spring training, and then it's less than what they could have gotten. Right.
Yeah, I can see that. It's kind of crazy, dude. He's got to have most everyone, right? Because he does He does not even just baseball, right? He does NBA a lot too.
I didn't think he did. I didn't know that. Does it say? It could be his corporation does it, and then he doesn't. Maybe.
Yeah. Notable guys. Maybe just baseball. This is all for baseball. Though.
Oh, Matt Chapman as well. I wouldn't want him though. I think he's a declining player. Offensively, he was really good a few years ago.
Yeah, it seems like mostly. Yeah, it seems all baseball actually.
No, that's isn't that like 2 years ago or something? Or never mind.
This is December 20th.
I got you. It was I didn't realize that's what that list was.
Pretty crazy, dude. I mean, good for him, I guess.
Yeah. And then, you also got Jorge Soler, JD Martinez out there as well. I've kind of thought, Tony, for the Mets, Martinez, no?
JD?
Yeah.
That would be, again, it's interesting because those older guys you've seen have these upticks, especially at the DH position. We talked about Jorge Soler as well. I don't know. I don't think he's gone anywhere.
And he's got a lot of power.
I know. So I just don't know what the Mets are trying to do. Because, you can pick up these guys for 1 or 2 or 3 years, maybe at the DH position. And then, what was JD 35?
Yeah, I mean,
right?
he's up there.
He's got to be up there. So is Jorge Soler. He's got to be 37.
I think JD is probably older.
Older,
than
you think
Soler,
so?
Yeah.
So maybe Soler would be a little better.
And then while they're at it, Justin Turner's
He's 31.
38, so you might as well bring him up.
Sure, dude.
I mean, have him right the ship. You know, he had a tough Met tenure. Obviously, caught lightning in a bottle with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, he was actually good with the Red Sox last year. I have to say, I don't know if you looked at the numbers, but
No, not really.
he was pretty good. 23 dingers last year.
Okay.
And not a high strikeout guy, a high contact guy. So, I mean, there's useful guys out there, but I guess you're just like, you don't want to try to piece it together for a wild card for the Mets.
I mean, is that what we're doing?
1-year deals.
I'm so down. No, I am down. But like, then let's do it. Then I don't know. But like Harrison Bader, come on, dude.
More
Just the
tight about
signings
Bader or Severino.
Probably Severino at the end of the day. Because that's
It's
just
a shame
ridiculous.
because I always love Severino, but it's one of those things that I just know as a starter, maybe as a reliever, he could be great, but as a starter, there's no way
Especially
he's
after
staying
last
healthy
year.
and effective.
Yeah.
That was so bad. Like
That was
that
bad.
was like
You couldn't watch it.
insane.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. We're gonna be lucky if we get 100 innings out of him. I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And I'm honestly to the point, like some people might feel differently, but if like somehow this miracle happens and he's great,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be mad about it, honestly, because listen, good for him. And we couldn't re-sign him. So
Yeah.
it wasn't gonna happen with us. So that's
Mhm.
why I'm just okay with it.
He said it on a interview. He wanted to be a Yankee forever. He thought he was going to be
Oh,
a Yankee
my
forever too. He
that's
was like,
crazy.
yeah, I think I'm going to be a Yankee forever, but this new opportunity with the Mets, yada yada yada.
See, it doesn't sound good to me. Like, I want to be a Yankee forever, but I guess this is okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's not good, dude.
Chat, why do you think the Mets always take the Yankees scraps?
I wouldn't say they
what do you
always
think that
take it,
is?
dude.
We've seen it
Wouldn't
before. Granderson, Dylan Betances,
I
Tony.
mean, it just happens with
Harrison
everyone. dude.
Bader.
People take people's scraps,
But we don't really sign any Mets. I'm trying to think of, maybe Miguel Castro.
Castro was definitely one. That was a
Mhm.
weird trade. I would have never done it. Who the fuck did we traded for some loser bullpen guy?
Joey Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, yeah, of course, dude. What a terrible move. Where's Castro? Was Castro on the Diamondbacks, right, last season?
Yeah, I think so.
I always liked him out of the bullpen. He
Yeah.
had some fire on his fastball. He had a good look. I don't know, dude. But
David Robinson's still out there. You could. I think that would be a good move for the Mets. No, you need
Yeah.
to build that bullpen. You're concerned about the second half. I'm guessing.
I mean, it was actually kind of funny because he was also someone who was like, "Oh, I love
Being Mets.
being on the Mets," and then
Oh.
they traded him. And then I'm going to do terrible for Miami. So I was like, I don't know, man. The jury's still out on
1-year
him
deal?
for me here. I would try it. Why not, dude? I
Yeah.
mean, especially at this point, I feel like the Mets bullpen is just there's not. I don't want to see Brooks Raley keep getting trotted out there, dude. And you never know. I mean, it looks like from reports I've seen, Diaz looking pretty solid. So
Okay.
obviously,
Yeah,
hopes
Diaz
for
coming back.
him.
Ottavino's still
Um,
under contract.
No, I don't. Is he? I don't think so.
For some reason, I think he is. I feel like we were talking about trading him.
Free agent.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And he hasn't been touched
Oh, he
yet.
declined his player option. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I mean, does it say what the player option was?
Let's see. MLB trade rumors. Turned down $6.75 million.
I don't know if
option.
he's going to get that.
I mean, he could. I guess he is 38 years old. Wow, I didn't realize how old he was.
Yeah.
I guess he has been around for a while, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting. It says that because of the Mets' uncertainty, he didn't want to I guess, re-sign here. Which I guess, again, like, I mean, I'm uncertain what they're even doing. So it's like,
Yeah.
why would any player want to come into the Mets organization when it just seems like they don't really know what they're doing right now?
Yeah.
And I don't know, dude. It honestly gives me a little knot in my stomach because it's like,
You think this could be a really bad year?
yeah. And then it's like, what? And then like, I mean, obviously Nimmo's locked up, Lindor's locked up, but it's like, I don't know, dude.
But then it's weird with Bader's a center fielder, so why did they send Nimmo? And he's not going to play. He's going to be in center, obviously, right? Nimmo,
Not necessarily, but I feel like because Nimmo didn't start out as a center fielder. I think he
but he
started out in
has
left.
been the last.
Yeah, they developed him into a great center fielder.
Yeah,
You could say
great.
great. But it's just like, I don't know. I mean, is Harrison Bader going to play center? I wouldn't throw him in center field.
I feel like I haven't really seen him play the other positions.
Neither
too
have I.
much.
I would throw him in right field, honestly, because I don't trust him right now.
And Mike,
trust
we
him.
always have this
Don't feel like that.
argument. I'm kind of curious what you think because I thought of it because Tony said great. Well, I've thought that Francisco Lindor, since he went to the Mets, has been a disappointment. Tony thinks he's great. Any thoughts there? I mean, I just think the contract's pretty high. The average has been, the production has been inconsistent. What do you think about Lindor?
I mean, if you're looking at like probably what the fans and what the organization thought is like their expectations, I think it's almost obvious that he's definitely been below that, because I feel like he's a piece that was supposed to elevate them to, playoffs,
Right.
title
Right.
contention, Lindor this, Lindor that. And like, I feel like his like biggest game that I always remember, maybe because I'm a Yankee fan, is when he's drawn back at the Yankees and he's hitting like all those home runs and him and Stan going back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I remember Lindor on the Mets for.
Or
was a sick
arguing
game,
with
though.
Jeff McNeil about rats in the clubhouse,
Yeah, that was crazy too. A lot of issues going on over there.
Yeah.
And I did see Corey Saccone said he opted out, so I think he was referring to Ottavino.
Yeah.
But this is going to be an interesting year. And you wonder too if it is bad, like you're kind of anticipating, Tony. If they do try to trade some people, if there were takers, like, and you could get a decent return, would you want to trade like Nimmo or no?
I guess.
I
don't know. Nimmo, I hate to see it because it's like
homegrown.
So excited to be on the Mets. And he's someone who's also like, I mean, you see it in his play. Like, the guy sucked as an outfielder. Like, he really did when he first started playing outfield. Could not track a ball down, dude.
Yeah.
And now has been making some great catches and some great defensive plays. Is a solid leadoff hitter, I think. But I mean, hey, man, I don't know. It's tough. I guess it depends on how the season goes. But I guess we have so much young talent too within the organization that it's like you really want to focus on developing that. So I don't know. I guess, dude.
You a little concerned about Luis Angel or no?
In terms of
like I guess he hit like
a bust
220 last year, didn't he?
What is he, like 18?
No, I think he's
20.
He's like 22.
Stop it! Really?
Yeah.
Is that old already?
I think it's a mental thing. Because I feel like for the last couple of years, like the whole Mets team, I feel like the collapse and like the jokes, and I just feel like all this like pressure, and I think it's a mental thing at this point.
And I mean,
especially with the players that have been on the team now for a couple of years. Like,
oh, you're saying in general?
Breaking news.
In general.
Michael's breaking it. Oh shit.
This is from one Marco on the chat. Breaking news: WWE Raw moving to Netflix in 2025.
This is actually
wow.
At least they got it off cable TV.
That's kind of sick, I guess.
Yeah, that's good.
So
Brian,
okay.
5 minutes on WWE right now.
I mean, Vince, what is he doing? Honestly, with the makeup.
I don't. Is he still like?
No, he still is.
Is he?
He was out. He's back in. But I'm just talking about his face. Like, what is he doing?
I know, dude. I don't know. Like,
that's the scariest thing I've ever seen.
it kind of is, and I feel like it's been a significant decline out of nowhere. I feel.
Yeah.
So I think I saw him like last year. I'm like, wow, this guy's like 70 and he looks great. And like now after the whole
plastic
scandal and thing, like he just looks bad.
Lawsuits get you all messed up.
But I think it's more
definitely.
just a plastic surgery than anything.
Yeah.
Like, forget the lawsuit. Like, just like, what was the point?
Yeah, I know. What is the point? I remember seeing him when I was a kid, and he's like 55 and yoked on steroids. Like, wow, he looks great, dude. And now he's just walking in with a cane now, dude. Like he's injured.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's all a fucking show. Like that whole thing,
isn't
dude.
that
I think
what
technically it is.
WWE?
No, yeah, I'm just saying the whole like he sold his company, he bought it back.
Yeah.
You know, he's in, and it's like
kind of like Portnoy.
Yeah, I get. Well, Portnoy, surprisingly, there was no sexual harassment allegations there.
No, I'm just saying with the show,
Yeah.
like he sold the company.
Yeah,
got
the
back.
company sold
What
back.
$1 million on Michigan? $1 million. You think he actually bet it or not?
I do think so, dude.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, wouldn't you at that point? Wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot to lay though. What do you think? You think Portnoy actually bet the $1 million on Michigan or not?
Mm-hmm.
He's got it.
Yeah.
He keeps saying he has fuck you money. So I think he's able to.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
definitely, he definitely has it in the cocaine budget. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Michael knows about that.
Before we move on here,
Michael.
we got some comments. We could catch up on here.
Yeah, so sorry here. Let's go way back up here. But from my mother, she says, "Hi, fellas. Miss you as in me. In our time in Connecticut, me too, Mom. Thanks for visiting." And then we have the chairman of the company saying, "Good morning, gentlemen. Let's have a show. Keep clear of the Pirates. Hello, new guy," he says. Hashtag at the company. That is Michael. And then Nick Main back at it again. Astros are Chapman's daddy, laughing. Nick Main loves the Astros.
Well, he's not gonna have to face them unless they're in the World Series.
Yeah.
Which neither team will be there. So
Nah,
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think so, dude. Matt Gabriel saying, "Let's go." And then
Matt,
Lonnie coming in here saying, "Wait, how does Tony feel about sitting next to someone wearing a Yankees hat? Oh, wait, it shouldn't be that big of a deal since he wears Yankees jerseys himself. Fake or not, shaking his head." Domac, I went to a Yankee game with Brian.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I can give me like something to wear. He gives me a Judge jersey, right? It's
Yeah.
Judge. So I wore a Judge jersey to the game with my friend Brian.
Yeah.
Is exactly like
Are you, if you're a clarified Red Sox fan?
I'm a Mets fan.
I mean,
Yeah. I
I don't know. Dude,
You're not catching me or Mike wearing a Mets jersey. That's the thing.
crazy. I'll never wear a Mets jersey.
what am I gonna do? Like go to the Yankee Stadium and just what?
I mean, you've
I see
never
people
been to a sporting game without wearing the home team's jersey. Like you
Well,
have to wear a jersey every time.
One time I went to Fenway and I wore
One time.
One time I went to Fenway for Red Sox Yankees game, and I had an MLB Network shirt on.
Yeah, it's like
You just got to go with the team colors. Like if you like, if you're a Mets
Team
fan and you just
colors.
don't want to walk in there with a Mets jersey on, you got to go like blue jeans and a white shirt.
Yeah, but that,
gray
like,
shirt.
obviously in that game I was rooting for the Yankees to
yeah, but
win.
he
so like,
says
what am I- like,
nonsense. He doesn't like the A's, but he says nonsense like, oh, like for New York, and it's like, listen, there's New York and there's the Yankees, and it's completely different.
See,
Yeah.
I'm talking to the wrong people. That's why. You're both from Connecticut, wherever.
But why would you want the Yankees to win if you're a Mets fan? Like I would never want the Mets to win.
Yeah.
Like none of my rivals I want to win. Like I want the Red Sox to go like 0 and 162.
You're on.
If you could see Barnes' face, he looks like a proud father hearing Michael speak.
Oh,
Because
my
I mean,
God.
it's common sense. Like I expect.
So what? Do you want me to go there in a Tampa Bay Rays jersey? Like that's
No,
who
you
they were
don't
playing.
need to
Like,
wear
what?
a
What?
jersey though. You could just go to the game.
Yeah, colors. You
Like,
gotta go with the colors.
Like I don't know. That was crazy. Honestly,
What?
like I wouldn't even consider wearing anything Mets ever.
All right. Next time we go to Yankees game, I'm rooting against them. And
I've
that's
seen
just gonna
people
be that,
wear
dude.
like any
It's
jersey
fine.
to a game. Like if I'm a Mets
I
fan,
think
and
that's
like,
stupid.
I would rather just wear a Mets jersey.
No, that's ridiculous. See, that is dumb.
People do that.
That I think
haven't,
is so
but people do
beat.
do that.
It's like why? Like who cares? No one cares about you. Like take that jersey
Yeah,
off.
but it's
dude.
loyalty. It's like what I'm saying. Like you can't preach you're a Mets fan wearing a Yankees jersey. Like you're wearing a Judge jersey, preaching you're a Mets fan. This is like that.
Because I am a Mets fan.
But you're really not though. Like you wouldn't want to put the jersey on. Like there's levels to it, and you must be
That's
at like
ridiculous.
a basic
That's so
like casual.
ridiculous.
Like in my opinion, those people are considered casuals.
That's ridiculous.
Like,
Yeah.
you
That's so beat.
you're a casual Mets fan.
How am I a casual Mets fan?
Or you're the
Because
old
how do you
timers
not,
who are like,
like-
80 years old that say they root for both teams.
Yeah.
Like that was common 80 years ago.
But you're not 80.
I am not 80. That's right.
So the casual Mets fan.
I'm not a casual Mets fan. I'm a serious Mets fan. And I went to a game with my friend and I was rooting for the Yankees.
Team colors.
And it's funny, I ask everybody about this, so I had to ask you. It pisses me off two things with the Mets. Number one, everybody's like goes nuts about the stadium. Like the stadium is nothing special.
I've never been, but everyone tells me the same thing. They're like, it's like the greatest stadium.
Well, you
of all
can't
time.
have any opinion. You've never been there.
No,
Never been
then
there. Have an opinion.
They try to tell me, God forbid, they try to tell me that it's better than Yankee Stadium. I'm just like, what are you talking
Yeah, nothing
about?
beats Yankee Stadium.
Like not even close.
Why?
And then number two,
Why
just
isn't it
look
close?
at it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, whew.
You didn't say anything. you haven't even given me a reason still.
Because
Once
I
they
don't think
build-
there's anything special about it. That's all.
They're adding.
But
a
why
bunch of
is
stuff
Yankee
around
Stadium
the
so
though.
much better?
So it's gonna be pretty cool.
Because it's
Yankee Stadium. Oh
I mean,
my
yeah,
God.
legacy tradition,
Monument
like, there's a-
Park.
Legacy tradition. They knocked the old stadiums down. There's no
Yeah.
legacy. There's no tradition. There's nothing there.
I
Well,
agree.
the
That's speed.
franchise has
Speed,
That
they
is so
knocked the
stupid.
stadium
That's like,
down.
oh,
see,
yeah.
this- we're not gonna be 80 years old again. You know, buildings have to be rebuilt, Tony.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They don't, not all.
So how can you rebuild it? First of all, look at
This is a
Fenway,
Fenway.
Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
Like look at,
Yeah, look at
even the
Fenway. They have the
Angels.
worst
Yeah, you go-
concessions. The seats are made for somebody who's
Terrible.
about 5 feet 120.
Okay.
You can't sit on the right.
And the
you
Red Sox
can't
have a
sit in right
shit
field.
season. They're
No, I
sold
sat
out
in right
crowds,
field
dude.
last year was the most uncomfortable
That's
thing
what
of
I'm
all
saying.
time.
You sit in right field. You're looking at center field.
All
You
right,
have to-
and
you,
then
you
they-
break your neck to watch the
Yeah,
game.
They
and the
sell out
food
every.
sucks.
They sell out every game,
Yeah,
dude.
well, when you have the smallest ballpark in the league, it's pretty easy to sell out.
Nah, stop it.
Yeah,
Stop.
if
This is
the Mets
ridiculous,
had it,
dude.
actually, you're right, actually, because if the Mets had it, they wouldn't sell it because they
No,
always have
tickets are
20,000 empty
$2,000.
seats.
Wow. Oh,
So
wow.
I think
Yeah.
so there's no atmosphere, lack of attendance, and then also the
What
thing
up,
that pissed me
Mike?
off the most, and Tony always brings it back to Michael K, which has nothing to do with, but everybody says, "Oh, their announcers are the best," and it's like, what?
All right, first of all,
they're
Mets
not.
announcers?
They
Pump-
suck.
Pump the brakes for a
like
second.
Gary Cohen
I
is
don't-
the most
no, no, no,
boring
no, no, no.
play-by-play announcer I've ever heard in my life.
Brian always brings it back to the announcers. I don't talk about it. I love the SNY
No, but
announcers.
when I say something about Gary Cohen, you always talk about Michael K. And it's like, I'm not saying anything about Michael K.
I am,
I'm just
though.
talking strictly about the Mets
Yeah.
announcers. And I think it's ridiculous that everybody thinks they're the best in the whole entire sport. That's insane.
I don't know. If everyone thinks something, you're the outlier. What does that tell you, Brian?
People, I mean,
That you're
honestly,
wrong?
ask Michael about that.
Listen,
Michael-
I'm
Michael? Michael?
I
Which-
love Michael K. I think
Ask
he's
Michael
great.
K about it?
I love I love the radio. I love the broadcast. I love everything about it, and I don't see how you can. compare
Michael K
it.
was in the news recently. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, well,
There was
an
like-
erroneous report.
Yeah. Was it actually? I didn't really read the
Yeah,
article.
'cause
Was
they
it
did a
erroneous?
I think what happened is they did their "Would you rather" segment, and the whole thing was like, "Would you rather have sex?
I
And it would be
listened to that on
great
the
with the
radio.
worst person ever, or vice versa? Like
Yeah.
best person ever, but it was the worst time
It was
ever."
Rick Carton,
And then-
right?
No, but I think
Or-
someone just said his name or something, and then
Yeah.
it turned into that he suggested that, and then the like now there's a back and forth with the posts and stuff. Crazy.
Yeah, I think Michael K's gonna keep it in his pants a little bit, dude.
All right, what else we got here?
Matthew says, "Oh, love this shirt." I'm assuming he means Brian. The Jets long sleeve. That is a dope
Let's
shirt.
go.
Matthew then says, "Call my mother. I don't need to. I just spoke to her." Lonnie, of course, the great Lindor.
He knows.
Josh B says the numbers show he is not anywhere near the same player he was on Cleveland. I would say,
100%.
I mean, he's definitely not, but I mean, I still think
He's
he's a
not
good
supposed
player.
to play
dude.
more than he made in Cleveland. and
He
then be happy
quite
about
literally was like the best shortstop in the league last season. So
it. No, he wasn't.
what do you mean? Like, look at the metrics, dude. The numbers are there. I think he was ninth in all.
Tony with the numbers. Josh Allen.
Terrible.
Josh
Corey
Allen, the
Seager
numbers,
was the
dude.
best shortstop in the league, not Lindor. Okay,
I don't know about that one.
I do.
Corey Seager. Hold on, it's going by here. Chairman says, "Thank you, Michael. You know what's up. Them Staten Island kids be lost." He also thinks Staten Island is in the city.
Yeah, he
Shake my
does
head.
think that too.
There's another thing, because it is. So like again, you guys should just keep bringing up these claims, and you're just vastly wrong, and you just look foolish, honestly. That's fine. My mother said you can wear whatever you want, Barnes, and then sometimes it's disrespectful to the home team if you are visiting. Exactly, dude. Thank you very much, Mom. I'm just a New Yorker.
Interesting that a Mets fan is saying that. You know, I mean, I get it. You want to join the club, but not everybody's invited.
No, I get it. Like you wish you were from New York. You wish Connecticut had a major league team.
No,
they
I'm just
don't.
happy
son.
We're gonna have
Connecticut
best,
And you want to talk about
best franchise in
Connecticut
sports
Sun.
history.
Stop it, Michael.
That's
Connecticut
what
Sun.
that's what I'm happy about.
Michael.
It's a major sports team.
Okay, you have one professional sports team.
Mohegan Sun, Connecticut Sun.
Yeah.
Great team.
Okay,
Great
that's
organization.
totally fine. And you want to talk about casual fans, like you're not even from the area anyway. Michael then says, Chairman, oh yeah, you know what? Honestly, it's a good point. Chairman says, Michael, I'm a hat collector and yes, I have a Mets hats, but they barely ever get worn. Just part of the collection. Feel me. And thank you for roasting Tony's ass on this topic. Anyone here?
I had a very specific rule on this because I like collecting fitteds, but
Right. So you wear other teams' hats?
I
you're telling
know.
me.
I never.
So you're a casual Yankee
I
fan?
No, I didn't want to wear other teams' hats. I never did. And then recently, I only have two. I have a Brewers and I have a Blue Jays.
And that's pretty sick. But Blue Jays,
I
dude.
know.
Oh,
It doesn't get touched. It's
Right.
a summertime hat. It's like pink and blue. It's like a. If I'm going to the beach and I just throw it on, like it's just those two things. The majority of them are Yankees hats. Like if I was able to bring, I wouldn't. I don't even have enough room to bring them in. But no, 90% of them.
And see, like I was like borrowing Brian's jersey. Now these people, Lonnie and Michael, are going out and spending their money
And that goes to the team.
contributing to the organization. Lonnie's a hack. Michael's a casual fan. It's totally fine, guys. Kev Du also says it's
Terrible
way better than
justification.
Yankee Stadium. I drive by Yankee Stadium every day. I can call it world's biggest toilet. I mean, the Bronx is
I
obviously
mean,
tough.
that's obviously ridiculous. You're talking about biggest toilet, Flushing. I mean, talk about a toilet. I mean, it's just like every time I've been to Citi Field, the first thing I think of is like, boy, I just wish I was at Yankee Stadium. Like, this is just
When
not
the
the
City
spot.
Field.
I've been there like 3-4 times. I don't know.
I've never been.
My mother says City Field has the best food. That it does, by the way. The food that we got at chicken fingers and fries. Oh, you get the sausage and pepper sandwich. That was trash at Yankee Stadium.
I don't know. Have you ever heard of
Citi Field, worst food ever.
You don't
honestly.
have any leg to
I've
stand on right now.
had.
What have you
the
had there?
food.
What have
The
you had?
Shake Shack.
What have you had? What have you had?
No, the
Shake Shack. Shake Shack, dude.
The Shake
Oh.
Shack sucks. Literally, I've never heard of something more overrated. Shake Shack is McDonald's.
I'm
Literally.
taking the 99 burger over Shake Shack at City
Yeah.
Field.
Terrible.
That's ridiculous.
Terrible.
The 99 burger. And then honestly, the report was a load of crap. I put the evidence out that Michael never said what was said. And then we have Donnie Schmidt in here, worst announcer of all time. Hawk Harrelson had to move the TV every
Huh.
time played the
Talk
White
about a
Sox.
throwback.
Hawk Harrelson. Wow, thanks for tuning in there, Donnie.
Yeah.
And then Kev Du says, all you Yankee fans on here
Has
weren't
nothing
even
to do with anything. It
out
just
of your
sounds like a
diapers when they won
miserable
most
Mets fan,
chips.
like they all are, because they suck. That's why.
And then Donnie's saying worst stadium is Oakland Coliseum. Never been, but I mean, you could
Yeah,
tell.
I mean,
it's
it
pretty
is.
piss poor.
It is. Definitely is.
Then the line comes out, hack, excuse me, Tony, you literally wore a jersey to a Yankee and openly admitted to cheering for them to win. You're the biggest hack on this planet. You spent money, Lonnie, on Mets hats, dude. Money. Your money,
it just
bro.
Seems like, though, there's
That's
a lot
embarrassing,
of issues
dude.
with the Mets.
That's
whether
so
it's the
embarrassing.
Fans, the announcers, the food, the stadium, the performance on the field, the rats, Tony. Okay? So, seems like there's a lot of issues. The free agency, David Stearns. Okay?
I'm just talking about the hats right now. That line
I'm talking about everything.
Hats are expensive too.
Hats,
They're
the fitted hats are like $40.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
dude.
50 a hat. So if you buy two, it's like $100 on just
Lonnie,
hats.
that's so embarrassing for you. Brian, do you own anything of another team that you don't root for?
No.
What's it, guys? I mean, I don't know. That's all I got right now.
I don't know what you want me to say. Honestly.
No, that's it, dude.
Why did you say yeah?
So stupid. Let's check some Instagram comments, maybe if we have anything from Instagram. No, dude, we don't. And that's it, dude.
No,
Kev Du-
I think your mom was chirping back.
She says Barnes, City Field is beautiful. My friend who's a bigger Yankee fan than you. Whoa.
No such thing.
I don't
Michael
know.
knows it. That's it.
Yankee logo tattoo.
I don't like tattoos, so that has nothing to do with anything.
Neither does she, but she got a Yankee one though.
Doesn't matter.
I
If
don't
he
know,
had
dude.
tattoos and he didn't have a Yankee tattoo, then it mattered.
Yeah,
Brian has a few
exactly.
tattoos. I've seen him. Admits the Mets Stadium is better.
That is.
She said,
no,
I think
honestly, first of all,
you're jealous.
actually, also,
I think you're jealous. She says.
they're not a Yankee fan if they said that. So
Listen, it's a debate once they do the renovations right outside and all that money they're about to dump into it. And then if that ends up looking pretty sick, then maybe we could talk. But
I know they're trying to
But
really
even
like.
so though, but that's an environment outside of the stadium. We're talking about the
Fair.
actual stadium. No way Citi Field will ever be better than Yankee Stadium. That's a complete joke.
I don't know. I really I guess when I was at Yankee Stadium, I obviously had a good time because it was all us and it was a great game.
there's like traditions,
But,
like a roll
I mean, I don't know.
call, like all that, those things Yankee
The
fans
bleachers,
do.
Yeah, yeah.
bleachers.
Listen,
Like,
listen,
what do you do at a
The
Mets
house
stadium?
is always
Listen.
packed. There's not
Yeah.
10,000 people there on a Wednesday.
I wouldn't say the house is always packed.
Always
First
packed.
of all,
Look at the attendance
second
numbers.
of all,
Go ahead, pull up the
those
attendance
numbers are
numbers. Go
fake.
pull
Everyone
it.
knows that. Everyone
Oh,
fucking knows that,
Why are
dude.
the Mets lower then?
I don't know. In
they're
August and
so fake.
September was pretty bad.
Anyway, dude. But I can't say anything that God forbid I say I enjoyed my time at Yankee Stadium. I'll be a casual Mets fan. But yeah, I had a great time there because you're with great people, sure. But I mean, like, is it like
Great people, great stadium.
yeah, but is every asshole in the stadium a great person? No, like it's like whatever, dude. Like sure, like it has good atmosphere.
Not really making much sense right now, Tony.
unless the
Because what do you want me to say? Great atmosphere, great attendance. What the fuck does that even mean, dude? More assholes in the stadium and have a better time? No, half those Yankee fans are fucking assholes anyway,
it just
dude.
seems like some justification for Citi Field being,
I like Citi Field better. I think the food there is better. Personally, I have a better time when I'm there because it's more open. I just think it's nicer.
yeah, it's open
To look
because
at.
no one's there.
I just think it's nicer to look at. I'm walking around Yankee Stadium and there's just cement walls with nothing on them. Like, this is kind of cool, I
mean,
guess.
the Met blue too is such an ugly shade of blue. I feel like, and that's what most of Citi Field is inside.
So
Outfield walls.
it's great colors. They pay homages to the original New York teams, dude.
Homages.
An homage, like they pay respects to the Brooklyn
I
Dodgers and the New York
know that,
Giants.
but this
as
isn't
the
the New
orange
York
and-
Giants or the Brooklyn Dodgers. Like, it's just, I'm telling you, it's a bad job at the end of the day. It really is.
You think the stadium is a bad job being built? That's what you
Yeah.
honestly think, Brian.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. How is it a bad job?
It's just not aesthetically pleasing. It almost reminds me of like MetLife, honestly, where you just go there and
Really?
it's like, what were they doing?
I mean, I guess MetLife is all right.
MetLife sucks. Everybody says that.
From the outside, it looks terrible. From the outside, it looks like Yankee Stadium a little bit.
No, it's just the yeah. From the outside, it looks like Yankee Stadium. Okay. What else we got here?
You can appreciate both fields. My mother says we are all New Yorkers. Actually, the two people in here are not New Yorkers. I think you should appreciate both.
I
Barnes.
don't, because I appreciate my team's field, and I'll be straightforward. I've been to other parks; some are great, and I just didn't get that feel with Citi Field.
I think you're biased.
I mean, definitely. There's definitely a little bit of bias.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
I mean, no, but I'm saying in as much shit I was just talking about Fenway, I enjoyed going there more so than I did going to Citi Field.
Really?
Was for Yankees.
See, it's kind
Red
of weird
Sox.
to say
I
as a
bet the
Yankee
Yankees,
fan,
Mets.
dude.
I'm
Oh,
saying
you're a
went to
casual
both-
Yankee fan.
but I went to both, series.
Don't bang
and
the
I'm
table.
saying it was just a better atmosphere because, like, we've always been better than the Mets. Red Sox, it's actually somewhat of a rivalry, So, what else were you saying, Tony? The next Met in the Hall of Fame will be accompanied by a raccoon.
That's what Lonnie says. Again,
Yeah.
you can make these erroneous jokes all you want. I mean,
Erroneous.
I mean, obviously, no raccoon is going to be in the Hall of Fame. So
It's kind of funny. I feel like, though, especially once baseball season comes around, we do have this debate a couple times a year for the last 3 or 4 years.
about the stadiums.
The stadiums, the announcers. It
I
always
guess-
comes up somewhere.
And you know what? Honestly, this upcoming opening days, we'll get a nice back-to-back feel for both stadiums, dude.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm looking forward to that. And maybe Brian can give an honest review here of each stadium and not just,
No, it is an honest review.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll see,
not.
dude.
I'm not just saying that. Like I said, I do really think the Shake Shack food was terrible, and I just don't think it's just aesthetically pleasing.
all right.
Honestly, I would say
We always
probably
say
the
that.
best other
That's
stadium
fine.
that I've been to was Wrigley. Honestly, you want to talk about they've done a good, so much better job than Fenway. They've modernized it a little bit. Their concessions were better. The seats were better. Wrigley is awesome. Honestly,
I like City Field, dude.
well,
Looks cool.
But that looks nice. Does that look nice to you?
Yeah,
No.
but Yankee Stadium just looks a little nicer,
yeah,
especially at night too. With the
yeah.
the train in the background. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see what we got here. Hold on. Yankee Stadium versus City Field. Let's see if we got some images here. Show them side by side, maybe. Nothing really good, dude. Actually.
It's because they're not really comparable.
Oh, yeah. Someone. Oh, wait. No.
It's kinda obvious.
That's not that at all.
Yeah, really no comparison.
Yeah,
That
stop
ugly
it, guys.
apple, that
Yeah,
is
that
that
is-
is disgusting.
yeah.
The
honestly.
ugly
It looks like a
apple?
rotten apple.
That
It
is
is rotten,
brutal.
dude. It represents the big apple of New York City, dude. Like,
Well,
see,
you
that
mean
looks
Staten
dope,
Island?
dude. Staten Island's part of New York City. Yeah, which is a fact. You guys sound so dumb arguing a fact. It's really embarrassing.
Oh man. What else we got here? Donnie Schmidt saying,
Oh, gonna get some heat for this, but the best sports environment in New York State is a big time college game in the Dome. He says,
he's talking about the Carrier Dome in Syracuse.
30,000 plus going crazy for a basketball game.
Yes, sorry about that.
But
honestly.
it is.
It's a good environment, but come
yeah.
on, that's not gonna top Yankee Stadium. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, pretty cool, and hopefully Syracuse gets back up there. Always good when they're in contention. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores. Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle. That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Rink Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn. Side of the net. Between the legs and they score. Filthy. David Pasternak. The silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
Not last night. I'll tell you that much.
That is true. They did not.
But we were talking about this before the show. Killed the picks last night. I was literally, that was the only pick that did me in. I did watch I think I watched the whole Bruins game. I had put a couple of shekels up there, ended up working out pretty good. Close early, put it away late. So good to get that win. And then I did watch a good amount of the Coyotes Penguins game. That was exciting. And I was gonna throw on that one too because Penguins were minus 150 on the road, which I was like, I don't know about that. And it was interesting. Almost all Penguin fans there. So I guess they just wanted to see Arizona.
Wow.
I was surprised about that.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. That's tough, dude. I mean, I know you're playing ASU, and that stadium holds 5,000 people. It's kind of crazy that they play there.
Yeah.
But I guess good for the Penguins fans for making it out there. I guess. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's some cult following for the Penguins out in Arizona.
I mean, no, I
don't know,
think,
dude.
but also just the Penguins have always had a really strong fan base, right?
Oh yeah, forever. I mean, they won 3 cups in 3 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so it was cool watching that game.
6 years.
It's amazing. Go to Connor
6
Ingram's
years.
numbers. All of a sudden, one of the better goalies in the whole league.
Check it out
After
here.
really being a joke before that. But I mean, 2.47, 9.19, 5 shutouts.
5 shutouts.
And he's not working with a ton of talent either. I don't think that could be understated.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, Arizona has no defense, and I mean, you could be arguing, oh, backup goaltender doesn't have a lot of games, but I mean, geez, what do we have? 27 starts so far.
No, he's taken over for
like
go to
he
Mitch
has
Malkin
been, he's been getting the bulk of the starts here, and we talked about it a little bit. Yeah, he only has 18 starts here.
Isn't that sad though to see? I mean, he was our guy 2 years ago.
I know, it's a shame, dude. And he still could bounce back. He's still super young.
I think he's gonna get moved though. I think they're gonna go with Ingram.
I think he needs that though, because you're talking about like 3-4 years of just having no defense in front of you. I mean, that is taxing on any goaltender. And I mean, his numbers in the beginning, like a couple of years ago, were so, even last season. I mean, we're talking good numbers. So I mean, I think a change of scenery would be good for him. If he's a backup tender somewhere else to start, I'm sure he can work his way back up to a starting goaltender. Who knows? Maybe Edmonton takes a look at him.
Skinner, though, go to Skinner. He's
been
dude.
Skinner is nice, dude.
He honestly could win the Vezina.
Let's see where we're at here. 2.55 goals.
I mean,
actually, save percentage.
Ingram slightly better.
Yeah, so far. Look at his last 5 games. Oh, these are the. There we go. All wins out of him, and great save percentage, dude. He's been fucking killing it recently.
And it's interesting too. It almost like, I know it's cross sport, it's a little different, but the way Edmonton is winning, it's almost reminding me of like what the Packers did down the stretch. Because you think about Edmonton, you're honed in on McDavid and Draisaitl, and they've been kind of like spreading it out more. And haven't they won like 13 in a row?
It was something crazy. I think
did they just lose the other night?
I think they did. Yeah, they were on a 10-game winning streak, I believe. But yeah, dude, I mean, looking around, Evan Bouchard gets used a lot. He's a great defenseman for them. For
Nugent
sure.
Hopkins is great.
Obviously, yeah, we know about him. Darnell Nurse has found his way in the score sheet a few times. Looks like Evander Kane obviously has 2. Zach Hyman, 28 goals, 17 assists so far in the season.
That's insane, though. Was he any good before this year?
Last year, he was like good. He was used a lot. But again, obviously, all the scoring comes from Draisaitl and McDavid for the most part. I don't know if I mean, I guess you look at it here, and McDavid only 16 goals. That's definitely a little low. And even Draisaitl with only 22 goals. For him, even so at this point of the season, kind of low. So yeah, maybe finally Edmonton's kind of, I guess, take their head out of their ass and used other players around their team to help, facilitate some goal scoring. You can see that. I mean, Draisaitl 28 assists, I believe. No, Bouchard leads the team with 31. But that's sick, dude. I mean, it's nice to see the Oilers, after all the shit I talk about them, finally kind of winning some games, putting some solid stretches together. 26-15-1 now. I mean, geez, what were they like? They started out their season, they were like what, 5-10, like they were bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, what they've been able to do. And then who else? I think he's top 3 or top 5 in the NHL in goals. Sam Reinhart. Forever you're
Florida.
You're thinking Kachuk's their best player, and he has 34 goals, 24 assists.
That's awesome.
I guess he was second overall pick by Buffalo back in 2014. I guess he has, looking at this, I mean, he 31-36 last year, 33-49 the year before. So nice. I guess he has been good. But did you know like that much about him going into this year?
Yeah, I knew that he was from Buffalo. Buffalo got rid of him just because they were an absolute dumpster fire over there.
Right.
But I mean, I knew he was always a solid player. Obviously having, a great year this year. I mean, it makes sense for the Panthers, what they did last season. They're really like right on that high. But yeah, super, super stoked for him, dude. That's sick.
Yeah.
That he's up there.
So he scored a goal and led Panthers 4-1 over the Predators. So the streak is over with me and the Predators getting it wrong. Panthers, have followed up, that run to the Cup last year pretty well, 28-14.
Oh yeah, dude.
And the Sharks, I know you were surprised about that one, but we talked about the Kings being mediocre at home. Sharks actually jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Kings came back, but they win it. They win this one 4-3 in a shootout. And Kakinen 44 of 47 in net for them. And you also had goals by Zetterlund, number 14, Uckland, his 8th, Bailey, his 3rd, and Zetterlund winning it with a wrist shot, and also Logan Couture, who I think has been injured, just came back. He also had a goal in the shootout as well. Any concern for the Kings here, Tony? I feel like they've been slipping a little bit lately.
Yeah, they have been slipping a little bit. Their bottom 6 forwards have been pretty bad in terms of contributing to goal scoring. They had their backup tender Riddich in there too, who I guess didn't do a terrible job, but obviously you put him in a short situation. I mean, it's not going to be your best odds of winning. And like you said, they've been not good at home. People joke it's like the curse of the crypto.com arena, But at the end of the day, I mean, they just didn't have contributions from their bottom 6 to score enough. And letting up 4 goals. I mean, you can't be doing that against the Sharks. There's no reason why your defense should be able to stop them and your goaltender to knock them down. But I guess good for the Sharks. Good for Logan Couture. I don't even know much about him, but I want to say he may have been even the first overall pick way back in the day. I have to double check that. But to the Sharks, has his career here. Incredible talent. Like, he was supposed to be a McDavid type of talent. And I think he's tore his ACL like 3 times. Like
Couture?
Yeah, Couture. Yeah, he's been out for seasons due to injuries, like totally riddled with injuries his entire career, which is such a shame. He was a 9th overall pick of 2007 draft, dude. And he was supposed to be, again, like a Connor McDavid type and just could never get the playing time. When he's on the ice, he contributes a lot. But like you said, he came back from injury recently, and he's missed seasons due to injury. It really is a shame.
What could have been? Yeah,
it really, you hate to see that, especially when I was in high school. I had him on my fantasy team too. He used to piss me off so much with the amount of injuries he had. But yeah, so good for the Sharks, I guess. The Kings will bounce back. Don't worry about it, Brian.
All right. Just wanted to make sure.
I'm telling you.
So I have actually taken the lead back in the pick segment after the big night last night. So I'm up 59-57. We do have a decent amount of games today.
Dude, we have a great amount of games today on Tuesday.
It's time, Tony, to cue up the music.
Let's fucking go, baby. It's Tuesday. It's January 23rd around the National Hockey League. And we're starting off hot in Canada here. The Montreal Canadiens, Brian, are going to be hosting the Ottawa Senators. Canadiens pretty hot recently, improving their record just under 500 right now. Ottawa here on the road. Our favorite, actually, -145 at the Bell Center here. What do you think here, Brian?
Yeah, give me the Canadiens. I mean, look at that. 9-11-3 at home. That's been their better part of the schedule this year. Senators, the fired coach, this and that. So I like the home team. So I'm gonna say Suzuki, 2 goals and an assist, and under 2-1. The Canadiens.
Love it. I would say the same thing, honestly. The Canadiens are hot right now at home. Sam Montembeault is a goaltender I think we've kind of overlooked a little bit around the National Hockey League. I hope he's starting there for the Canadiens. Like you said, Senators in a lot of trouble there. Kachuk is tight at the team. They're firing the coach. I think it's just a bad job there. Canadiens, better culture. I would say 2-1 as well, but in overtime, Brian. Next game up, still 7 o'clock here. We are in Detroit as the Red Wings are hosting the Stars at the Little Caesars Arena, Brian. Stars obviously favorited here on the road, -145. The Red Wings obviously having a great couple of weeks here. Surprisingly good season at 24-17-5. Yeah, Dylan Larkin, dude. I believe Husso is still injured. So that would be interesting to see who's starting there for the Red Wings in between the pipes with the Stars coming off an overtime loss to the Islanders, I believe. What do you think here, Detroit?
Got to go with the home team again.
Wow.
I know you're going to go with the Stars. That's fine. But give me the +125. I'll take the home team. And give me Kane, a goal and 2 assists, 2 goals from Dylan Larkin. We're taking the over, and it's 4-3 Red Wings over the Stars.
I have been hot on the Red Wings, but I am taking the Stars here. I got to win some games up here against Brian, and I think the Stars, Oettinger in net, the Red Wings relying on a backup tender. I don't know, dude. I think Jason Robertson, Roop Hintz with a goal and 2 assists tonight as well for Dallas. The Stars win this one, I don't know, 5-3. So give me the Stars and the over. Next game up still at 7 o'clock here. We're in Philadelphia, dude. We're at the Wells Fargo Arena. The surprisingly good Flyers led by John Tortorella, dude. Tampa Bay, though, still favorited. Oh, actually, it looks like both teams are minus
Even money,
here.
basically.
Even money here at minus 110. What do you think here about the Flyers?
Yeah, this is tough because I don't really think the Lightning are that good, but Kucherov might win MVP.
Best player of the league right now.
28 goals, 48 assists. That's impressive. You look at the teams recently. Lightning winners of 4 out of 5. Flyers have dropped their last 2. But the Lightning did lose that last game to Detroit, so maybe getting back on their winning ways here and riding the hot hand in Kucherov. So I am going to say the Lightning over the Flyers in a shootout, 5-4. So Lightning and the over.
Absolutely love it there. I'm going to go with the Flyers. I think a great fan base. I've been to Wells Fargo in a Flyers jersey, Lonnie, rooting for the Flyers at some points in my life because I do appreciate them, and you love the former range that they've had as well. And I think they have better goaltending. Carter Hart or even Urson, if he is starting, I think will absolutely shut down anything Steven Stamkos or Nikita Kucherov has for him. So give me the Flyers here and the under. I say Flyers win 3-2. Okay, right. You got that, dude?
Yeah, I got
Next
that.
game up, 7:30 now. The Islanders are led by Patrick Waugh, their new coach, taking on the Vegas Golden Knights, coming off a little bit of a schneid for them to lose. The Vegas Golden Knights, obviously, plus 135 here on the road. What do you think here for the Islanders?
And do we have a timeline for Eichel, by the way?
I can double check here.
Is it like a long-term thing as far as you?
I thought so. He's not even on. Let's look it up here. Jack Eichel.
Week to week.
Following he had surgery on his knee, I think.
4 to 6 weeks. Okay.
And this was a week ago.
Yeah,
so.
I hate them without. No, I'm saying without Eichel. I think it's just they're done. And also they were trending downward without him. Patrick Waugh as head coach. I think UBS is going to be rocking, getting behind the coaching change, and I'm going to say Cal Clutterbuck, the game winner.
Wow.
The Islanders in overtime, 3-2 over the Knights. So
Noah
Islanders
Dobson, dude. He's a dog. I'm going to go with the Golden Knights here. I understand the Islanders. Patrick Waugh probably going to jack up the fans and the stadium people. I think at the end of the day here, Golden Knights are just a better team through thick and thin here. Islanders maybe go out to a lead because they're riding that high of a new coach, but third period, they blow it. Of course, Golden Knights win this one 4-3. So Knights and the over, Brian. Next game, we're moving to 8 o'clock here. Your Minnesota Wild are taking on your Washington Capitals, dude. This is very interesting here. Washington on the road, obviously plus money at plus 140. We know about the Capitals' woes and the lack of Ovechkin on the score sheet. What do you think here, Brian?
You know what? The Wilds have been so underwhelming. We're talking about, the Capitals issues, this, that. The Wilds, I mean, what's going on there? Seems like they're just backpedaling the last couple of seasons. So, and I know, yes, they've won, 3 out of 4 here. But I think Washington's the better team. And we're going to say a throwback. Ovechkin, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4-2. Washington over the Capitals, and that would be an over. Yeah, so Washington and the over.
I like that. I think Ovechkin is due, but not tonight, Brian. I think Kirill Kaprizov and Mats Zuccarello are going to be leading the Minnesota Wild to victory here. I think Kemper, Darcy over there has a bad game for the Capitals, a 3.13 goals against on average. Not good, dude. Marc-Andre Fleury killing it in Minnesota so far. So give me Minnesota and the over. I say they win 4-3. Let's say that. Next game up. We're going to be going back to Canada, dude. We are in Calgary as the Flames are hosting the St. Louis Blues, who I believe just beat the Capitals 3-0 a couple days ago. Scotiabank should be riled to have both teams here. St. Louis plus 140 on the road here. Brian, what do you got here for St. Louis?
All right. This is 2 underwhelming teams. So I guess just go with the home team and hope for the best. So I'll go with Calgary, but it's crazy. Like they were neck and neck with the Colorado a couple of years ago before the Avalanche ultimately won that cup. But it just hasn't been the same. But Markstrom is playing well, 2.59 goals against, 912 save. So I'm going to say he pitches the shutout. Lindholm with 2 goals, the only 2 goals in this game.
Wow.
2-0 Calgary. So Calgary and the under.
I'm going to go with a shutout as well, but for the opposite team here. I think the St. Louis Blues and Jordan Binnington is going to have one of those outlying games, and how inconsistent he's been so far this season, but he does have games where he looks absolutely lights out like a brick wall. So give me Binnington and the Blues winning this one. I'll go same score, 2-0. So Blues in the under, dude. Next game up here, Brian's second favorite team. We're staying in Canada here. We're going to be in Edmonton. The Oilers, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and company will be hosting the Columbus Blue Jackets with Sacred Heart alumni Justin Danforth on the team. Can the Blue Jackets beat the Oilers here at home? Blue Jackets plus 280 on the road, by the way. Big plus money, Brian.
8-2 Oilers. We've seen the Blue Jackets in some high-scoring games this year. McDavid, 4 goals tonight. And Stuart Skinner, we'll say 28-30 in that. But the Oilers and the over. Tony's going to tell me how it's the Blue Jackets in the over. But go ahead.
Fine, Brian. You somehow convinced me. Give me the Blue Jackets winning this game. I think it's going to go the under, though. I think maybe Edmonton has a lack of scoring here. The Blue Jackets, I mentioned Justin Danforth. Maybe I'm biased. SHU alumni, don't care. Johnny Gaudreau due for a goal or 2. Only 7 goals so far this season. Total disappointment. I think one of those outlying games by the Blue Jackets. I think they still have Cam Atkinson in the team too. But give me the Blue Jackets in a nail-biter 2-1 victory over the Oilers. So Blue Jackets and the under. Next up here, it's 10 o'clock, baby. We are on the West Coast as the Anaheim Ducks, speaking of the Sabres, are taking them on here at home. The Ducks, having a pretty okay year, I guess, if you're down for mediocre teams. Frankie Vetrano, though, the outlier, 33 points so far on the season, the main contributor. The Ducks at home, Buffalo's -5. They are road favorites. Brian, what do you got?
All right, I am going to go with the Sabres and the under. Not impressed with them this year, but the Ducks, we saw firsthand against the Rangers on Sunday. Other than Frank Vetrano and Terry, not much to work with there. So we're going to say the Sabres 3-1 over the Ducks in Anaheim.
Oh man, dude. It's a tough one. I kind of want to go Ducks, but I kind of feel like Sabres are going to win, but I kind of want to be like, yo, Brian. I'm going to, I got to go Sabres. I think they have better goal. Yeah, I'm going to go definitely Sabres here. Better goaltending, better offense. I know Adam Henrique's been hot for the Ducks. We know about Frankie V, too, as you mentioned. But the Sabres, the back-to-back shots against San Jose and Chicago, they've been beating up on the bad teams, the Ducks being one of them. Did you go under or over for this game?
Under.
Give me Sabres and the over. Tage Thompson, 4 goals, dude.
Where's he been?
I know. Where's he been? He's been too quiet, dude. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, we're going to move to our primetime game. It's not really prime time because it's late, but at 10:30 p.m. prime time for us. The San Jose Sharks are hosting your New York Rangers. Brian, you can go to this game with tickets as low as $14, Brian. How about that?
And I forget, go to the comments because we do have a Sharks fan. Donnie is a Sharks fan. So I hate to say it because I've been rooting for the Sharks, just because they lost so many games early. Then it's like, okay, everybody's going to count them out. And they're going to win some games.
They have.
Not tonight, Donnie. The Rangers, I think emphatically, Panarin with 2 goals, 3 assists. The Rangers all over the Sharks. We're going to say 6-1 as they, end this West Coast trip 2-2.
I totally agree with that, dude. I think Will Cooley will be an outlier there for the Rangers as well with a goal and 2 assists from the young buck contributing. Igor, hopefully, will be looking like a brick wall. And the Sharks just don't have it. They don't have defense. They have no offense. The 12-31 record. Give me a break here. Rangers in the over. What's the over at? 6.5? Yes, it is. Give me the Rangers winning. I don't know, 6-1. 6-1, Brian.
Important to get this win because then I think it's Vegas at home the next time out. So you want to win these games against the inferior opponents. And we know they've lost some of those this year and also just have generally struggled. But, you hope that turnaround in Anaheim will catapult them. And then Josh B with the insider information yesterday that Heedle, who had been, I think, rehabbing in the Czech, is back in the States, or stateside, as they like to say.
His return should be imminent.
And his return should be imminent. So let's go.
That's huge.
And I just feel like this is just such an important time in the season. You know, the hot start, the lulls recently, but a win here, 30-15, get things going again. I mean, you're still in a really good spot, but you have to just do it now. You know, there is no more time to mess around.
Yeah, we talk about hockey and teams being so streaky. You want to be careful with how many times you lose, because I mean, I think they were decisively in first place, and now I think they're just a couple points ahead of the Metropolitan. So you want to retain that lead. You want to keep the pedal to the metal there, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. So a fun-filled night of hockey tonight. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, dude.
For sure.
You're gonna stay up for the game? So tough. Fucking 10:30, dude.
Yeah,
Puck drop,
I'll probably watch a little.
Yeah, I'll try my
but
best.
like a period maybe.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's like what's terrible during the week is great on the weekends. Like I love when Friday, Saturday night they're on at 10:30. It's great.
Yeah, it is great because it's like midnight and you're still watching hockey.
Yeah, or
So
if you're out at the
is
bar,
awesome.
it's on.
It's on. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I do like that.
But-
Do you like hockey, Mike, or no?
I don't follow it like that, but when it's on, it does seem pretty interesting.
And you would go Rangers if you had to, or
no, probably
Really?
Bruins.
Bruins.
Whoa,
Interesting.
dude.
Because that's the only team I really knew when
And-
looking from an outsider. But
And I don't think you said how did the mix happen, like in terms of like your teams?
oh, my team. So my family on my dad's side is a all New York fan,
okay.
and my dad picked up the Yankees from them, so I picked up the Yankees.
Uh-huh.
For football was completely on his own, so he just ended up as an Eagles. The real backstory to it, I don't know. I just see a photo of me when I was like 3 with Eagles jersey on. So
Nice.
I'm an Eagles fan. And basketball was because my dad loved Larry Bird, so he
That
loved
makes
Larry
sense.
Bird, loved the Celtics, so I'm a Celtics fan.
Mhm.
And for college, he loved Duke, so that's also a Duke fan too.
Oh, nice, dude. It must have been sick to like see Larry Bird play back in the day.
I mean,
To
I
be
didn't
alive for
but
that.
for
Well,
him-
I'm saying,
for him,
that-
yeah,
that's
for
why.
him,
Yeah,
it
for
was
him, it's
pretty
probably
cool.
awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
it was probably pretty sick. Yeah.
Sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Hey.
saying, like, you know, I just feel like there's not like an outlying athlete like that, like nowadays.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
know.
like so.
Aaron
like,
Judge. I mean, come on.
No.
There's no comparison for modern day right now. Aaron Judge, no one's close. What he does on defense, the speed, the power, and also usually with that power,
Yeah, but, like,
comes like
I'm
a
saying,
210
like,
average.
You know, Larry Bird was like impactful to the game. You know.
Oh yeah, no, and Judge breaking Roger Maris's
yeah.
home run record, and obviously.
So
a
you would
lot of-
compare Larry Bird to Aaron Judge in
I don't-
terms of,
once his career's over, there's a lot of stuff to be done, but
Okay.
that's starting this year.
I guess time will tell.
Soto Judge back to back is going to be insane.
Insane.
You'll see.
Yeah, so pumped for that.
Who do you think's gonna start at the top of the lineup?
They're saying DJ. I don't want it to be DJ.
He had a good end to the year.
He did, but you know what? We can't have the expectations for him anymore. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
I kept saying, "Oh, the old Mayo, he's coming
Yeah,
back, he's
yeah.
coming," and then it doesn't happen. I think, and he might struggle early, but I think I want to see Volpe up there because
Okay.
I want to see him get on, steal, score from 1st,
Mhm.
you know, on a single double, whatever the case may be. But I'm expecting him to take a big leap up in batting average, and I don't care if the home runs even go down. That's fine. I would love to see him just. Last year was like 210 or whatever, 209. Let's get to 250
Yep.
and let's steal more. I don't know. That's one weird thing with the Yankees. Really, ever since I've been watching them, a lot of times they're hesitant to steal. Like with somebody like Volpe, how do you not just send them?
I don't know. They're normally they're not that fast. Before Volpe, I mean, like I don't.
Yeah,
know.
there wasn't that
There
many
was-
guys
yeah,
that were
yeah.
like Derek Jeter, obviously. But not too many base stealers. But I think Volpe could easily be
Definitely,
a perennial 30 to
100%.
40 steals every year.
Yep.
So I would love to see him leading off. And I thought they were going to trade Glaber, but now as we get deeper into the offseason, doesn't
Yeah.
it seem like it? Because I just feel like there's no way, no matter what, whether it's good, whether it's bad this year, they're not going to give him a contract extension.
Mhm.
Because if it's bad, they don't want to commit money to
Yeah.
him. If it's good, they're not going to want to pay $200 million for him.
Right.
So I don't like you're going to get a compensatory pick. Why not trade him? I don't know. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you think they would be willing to pay him if he does do well?
No,
Definitely not. Why not?
I think because of those like head scratching things with
Yeah.
the
On
bases,
defense and the
yeah.
base running.
And just listen. I mean, all Yankee fans will say it, and it's funny because obviously Glaber technically isn't homegrown, but you feel like he played in the minors a little bit with us after coming over from the Cubs. But it's like that money needs to go to Soto's extension.
Mhm.
yeah.
So
Yeah, we need to re-sign him if he plays well and he wants to stay.
yeah, to me, he's already re-signed. I don't think there's any way he's leaving. He's gonna love him and Judge, and that's why Judge is so great because I feel like he really brings the clubhouse together.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone respects him. So it's great to have him as captain.
Especially when we were thinking Rizzo was going to leave, and then he was talking to Rizzo.
God. Yeah.
I think he kept Rizzo.
And I also think, speaking of Rizzo, I think he's going to bounce back this year. And it doesn't need to be anything crazy, but I think he can hit 250 with 25 home runs. And
last year was so
games.
weird. Like
he was on fire. And then but it's just weird. Like you get the concussion stuff, but then at the same time, but it was like
3 months later.
But it was so like the performance, like, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, it was a little off. It was worst hitter in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just hope he is healthy because, I mean, I don't know. After the season, you heard him talking about like watching his tape back, and he's like, I didn't see that ball.
Yeah.
You know, like I just,
it was so weird.
He's like, I was looking at it. I thought the ball was somewhere totally different.
The whole second half of the Yankee season was weird. We had pitchers that would throw no hitters and then we're completely.
Dude,
off the team
I'm
in
sorry,
3
but I mean, I feel like
days.
the medical staff on the Yankees
has been bad for a while.
They got to be fired or something.
They have, though. That's the crazy part. They
and then
like
you're sending Herman out there popped. Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Well, I mean, what are you supposed to give him a sobriety
test?
No.
No, his armpit. It was an armpit injury, right? Wouldn't they say some shit? And it came out in the 5th inning to start because they sobered him up a little bit. Like, are you kidding me, dude?
That
like,
was crazy. But luckily, he's gone.
Dude, should have been gone years ago.
I can't wait, though. I'm so pumped for the season.
If Stroman plays well, I think he's gonna love being there. I think the city's gonna love him too.
But
if he pitches terrible, it's gonna be bad.
Like,
I think that it's gonna be a dumpster fire, to be honest.
I think too, though, like value-wise, it was a good contract. So I mean, we don't need him to do anything crazy. If he could just have a 3.8 ERA and make 25, 30 starts, fine.
That's all we need. I have no doubt in his ability, but his mental attitude is so piss poor. Stop it, dude.
Judge and Cole. Those are two guys that you want.
I can see him fighting Judge and Cole. Okay,
no, he's not.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, like especially when on the Mets, it was so terrible. And already you see him. Already you see him on Twitter talking shit to fans, and it's like, dude, you don't need like. That's the last thing you need for a team. It's the last thing you need as a player. And the second he doesn't do well, the Yankee fan base is going to tear him up. And then he's going to start turning on the fan base. And then you guys are coming here. If a few months of the season, Stroman's an asshole. You know, I'm telling you right now, dude.
If he pitches bad.
Which it will happen. There's going to be times where he pitches bad. It's just, it happens to pitchers, especially when you're a contact pitcher. We've seen it in the past few years. Sometimes you just don't do well.
But he also has to get used to it. Like, I think there were times where even we were yelling at Cole.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's going to be a transition into this New York market.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's one of the players that can handle it.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. You saw it with, like, again, you want to say, oh, the Mets suck, whatever. He sucked. Okay. He could not hack it.
I do think, though, there is
not
something that the Mets have had a leadership problem. And I think that was part of why it went awry.
Trying to be like a hater. I just
feel
like a whole, like the whole line. I just feel like who's the leader in that team?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Lindor just isn't that type of player.
Alonso's too goofy.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know, maybe just my perception of Alonso, but I feel like he's just like a shy dude. Or not even shy, but
he is a quiet guy. He's not
goes
in and does his thing
to call
and leaves.
somebody out, hold them accountable, you know.
Right. He's not leadership guy. He's I lead by my work on the plate, you know, I lead by my example.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, I still think Stroman it doesn't seem like he works well with others. It just does not seem that way. So I guess obviously time will tell.
I didn't want to bring him in, but like I said, I know
I wouldn't have either.
He hasn't pitched well in Yankee Stadium either, so I don't know if
he hasn't historically pitched well in Yankee Stadium.
So I think it's like I think either it was this past year or the last couple of years, it was like a 6 ERA Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Obviously small sample size. Plus, I mean, we've talked about this for a long time, but it's like usually, unfortunately, you know, guys from outside organizations come to the Yankees, and usually the numbers are always like the ERA is always higher. You know, so we'll see if that trend can be bucked. But like I said, I'm excited for the baseball season. Michael going back to basketball, talking about Embiid doing right by Kobe, and doing on Wemby, and he's a little too rough for the whole Wemby scenario. Okay, like let's give it a break. He's only 19 years old. His career is just getting started. Nothing to dislike Michael, so just take it easy. He's showing signs he's gonna grow, and that's it.
I mean, I think Wemby's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's going to be so good. I mean, I don't think anyone realized. I'm not trying to hate him, Embiid, but as a Celtics fan, like I'm not a fan of him. He put up 70 points, but he didn't play any defense. Wemby had like 30. So
and also Embiid, what's going to happen in the playoffs? It's almost like a Josh
agree.
Allen comparison.
Yep.
What's going to happen? So we'll see. Right, Tony?
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, listen, obviously this year Embiid has been like out of his mind good.
Yeah, out of his mind.
So, and then obviously, jury's still out on Wemby. I can see where Mike's coming from, where it's like, everyone was so hot on Wemby coming into the league, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like you do see that often, even in sports in general, where someone comes in hot and it's just an absolute kerfuffle, like totally.
Well, it hasn't been though,
and
so
then,
that's why I don't get what he's saying.
Aren't the Spurs like not doing well though?
They weren't supposed to do well.
Yeah,
right. Going into the year, they're one of the worst teams in the league,
right?
And he's had
some
great games, some great moments, and he's learning under Pop, and it's like,
right,
that's it.
But that's what I mean. It's like you saw with Connor Bedard in the NHL. His first goal, they put up a stat of how many goals Wayne Gretzky has for his career.
Yeah, but also,
and it's dude, the way ESPN talks about Connor Bedard, you would think, no, not the player's fault, but I'm just saying, like, people now think, oh my God, Connor Bedard is this phenomenal hockey player. But yeah, he's young, he's good, he could have a great career. The Blackhawks suck. And the way I feel like ESPN talks about Wemby, you would think the Spurs are in first place.
Yeah.
Just like the way ESPN talks about Connor Bedard, you think the Blackhawks are in first place. When in reality, these teams are not doing well. And the jury is still out on this guy. Like you said, he's 19. He can go on to be an absolute loser, And obviously, yeah, things are indicative of, maybe he could be good, the height, the talent, the youth. But I would imagine he was matched up on Embiid often last night, right?
Yeah, but he's also a young dude. He did his first year, and Embiid's been there, done that.
Exactly. No, I'm saying that's a good test for him.
I think it's more eye-opening that Embiid gave up. I just think I don't like players that are so worried about offense. So it's like I think he was more worried about putting up 70 because he gave up 30 to Wemby.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like if he was really trying to pay attention, I don't think Wemby is that. I think that's his career high so far, somewhere in the 30s.
Yeah. He's playing on a lower minute count, not doing back-to-back. They're easing into it. He's gets blocks left and right. He can hit 3-pointers, dribble. Really a generational talent.
He's gonna be good.
And Lonnie makes a good point, asking if we heard about the away jerseys thing, how they're getting rid of the white outline on the away jerseys, the Yankees. So on the bottom of the number, there's usually a white thing. So on the front and the back, they're doing away, and the sleeve. So I don't know what the reason was for that. I guess they used to do that back in the day, but to me, it's not that whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to be thinking about that as the season starts. But it is a story right now because there's nothing going on.
The Yankees are never going to really change their jersey significantly anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just get to opening day. Is there screen time today, Tony?
There is noon 15 screen time. Manny in the house. We're talking True Detective, dude. I feel like you would really enjoy that show.
Who's in it?
Every season is new. It's like a whole new storyline, right? Obviously follows two detectives typically. Jodie Foster's in this one. She's doing a pretty good job so far, but they're in Alaska, dude. So you're in like literally frigid temperatures, and it's winter just started. So I don't know if you know this, but they go a whole winter without seeing the sun. It's nighttime all the time, which is crazy. So it's a pretty good show so far. Talking about that. A couple of trailers that come out, some hot button news. It's gonna be excited to have Manny back in studio, dude. So stick around for that for sure.
I've been going nuts late night every night now. The Sopranos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I'm 8-9 episodes in first season.
That's sick.
So it's been 5-6 years since I watched it. So it kind of feels like you're watching it again.
Yeah. Oh my God, totally, dude. I feel the same way. I have to rewatch that.
Yeah.
But it's just sit down because once I know I get into it, it's like. You're talking stay up all night watching episodes. It's so good, dude.
Yeah, it really, legendary. So good stuff all around.
Could be stoked for that.
But so once again, appreciate everybody joining us today and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, merch, downtimetv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, enjoy Binge Buddies.
Let's go Rangers.
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.